Welcome back, everybody, to another Fall Asleep While I Play. And this one, we're going to be playing Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo while giving you soft commentary and rain sounds to hopefully help you fall asleep fast. Just sit back, relax, and let your anxiety and insomnia go as I keep you company and hopefully help you combat whatever you have going on in your life. Let me take your mind off of your problems while we go through this classic game. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. Helps the channel a lot if you do. And leave me a comment telling me what game you want me to play next. So, I'm not going to be talking the entire time, but, I will be, cutting in here and there when I need to. But I do believe that it's important to let the rain sounds breathe a little bit. So if you hear some points of a little bit of no commentary for maybe 30 seconds to a minute or even longer, it really is just me kind of letting the vibe of the video flow. But like in the beginning, I really try to talk a bit more than usual because I want to get those keywords into the algorithm with the script so YouTube knows what this video is about, because YouTube's weird. They read your transcript to figure out exactly what the video is about, and even then it just doesn't really know what to do with it half the time, so we'll see what happens. By the way, I do have a co-host in this video, and I know you can't hear her because she can't talk. What do you mean she can't talk? Is she mute? Kinda. This co-host here is a beautiful 9-year-old dachshund, which is a weenie dog. She decided that she wanted to crash the show and decided she's going to sit in my lap while we do this. So usually I don't let her come in here with me when I'm working because she won't, she'll get in the way and try to knock the controller out of my hand and try to interrupt and basically keep all attention on her. But, she's being a good baby today. Plus, this is post commentary since the original footage is from a previous Let's Play I did and recorded myself. So this is my footage, and all the mistakes are mine, but it just kind of a fun trivia note. The mistakes were made in 2022, not 2026. So 4 years ago, I did a Let's Play of this, and I basically cut the commentary off because it had a lot of rage out moments, and now I'm just recording new commentary to convert it into a new video. The original didn't do any numbers. I think it might have got 0 views in 6 months. So it really doesn't, no one has seen this footage anyway at all. So it kind of doesn't matter, but that's just a fun fact. Some of the videos that I've posted are basically reworkings of old Let's Plays that got 0 views, years and years ago. So really it's just me trying to kind of capitalize on my old content that did not do well and repurpose it for this new project that I'm doing, the Peaceful Pixels project. The old channel is long gone. The original video of this is, I have it on my hard drive, but it's nowhere on the internet. So there's really, unless I posted it again on a different channel, but I just kind of don't see a point because the original channel's been dead forever, and it never really even caught on anyway as a real brand. It was a thing that went on for like 3 months, and then I never really revisited it really, and stuff happens. So little trivia there. I did not play through the other Castlevanias. I think I might have played through Castlevania 1, but I didn't record it. I did play through this in this video, and I have played a lot of Symphony of the Night, even though I haven't finished it. I will be covering probably Castlevania 1 and 3. I might do a fall asleep while I watch for Castlevania 2, because I tend to avoid where do I go, what do I do videos, because, stuff like Zelda, Metroid, Castlevania 2, Zelda 2, stuff like that. It's great. I love the games. I would love to experience them myself. But the problem, I'm recording sleep content, and playing stuff like that would cause me to get frustrated. I might rage out. I might not, be very cozy during the commentary and stuff like that because of the difficulty of the game or the fact that I don't know where I'm going. So I try to avoid those, and I was like, well, people keep wanting Zelda and Metroid and stuff like that, for the series, but I'm like, I can't beat those games without being frustrated or getting lost. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a separate series called Fall Asleep While I Watch. And then we're going to basically borrow footage from someone that did a full playthrough, react to it with soft, commentary, rain sound, and then we're going to give them full credit. I'm going to have their name on the screen. I'm going to have it in the description. I'm going to have it in the pinned comment. They're going to get full credit. I'm going to say it in the video that it's not my footage. I'm going to make absolutely sure that people know I did not play some of the games, because the thing is, I used to do a reaction channel that was actually quite successful, and then it kind of died. The algorithm just stopped caring, and that was like a year ago, and it never recovered, and it just kept getting worse and worse on the view count. And I just finally said, you know what, this isn't worth the headache to play a character that causes this much drama in my life, over a character that I played. And I just got sick of it. I was like, well, I'm not getting paid enough, and this is nonsense. I want to go work on something that makes me happy, which is Peaceful Pixels, this video you're watching. That's the origin of the channel, and I was like, well, I still am really good at commentary and being off the cuff like I am now, so I don't want to completely throw away my gift of commentary and reactions and all that, but it's like, I don't want the channel to become Fall Asleep While I Watch, where I basically do like, every video was someone else's video and I'm reacting to it. I did that on the other channel, which did fine, but the difference was those videos that I reacted to were of shows like, TLC shows like, 90 Day Fiance and Extreme Cheapskates and, Catfish, stuff where people like got, romance scammed. It was stuff where it was like an established show where it wasn't gameplay. You do need to give gameplay credit, because when I'm watching TLC, obviously it says the show, and like, yeah, it's already credited on the video itself. But with gameplay videos, which I recorded this one, by the way, this is my footage, they don't really have that same thing, because anybody could post a video playing through Castlevania without any type of actual commentary, so that's another big reason that I do actually add commentary, is the fact that number one, is cozy, number two, it adds personality to the channel, and number three, long plays are already a thing, and I don't see a point playing through a game, adding nothing and then competing with people who already did it, 15 years ago, that are going to outrank me anyway. So I have to add that personal flair to give the channel an identity, so that's the biggest thing. I hope that y'all do find these cozy, though. I know people, a big thing that got me to do Peaceful Pixels again was people kept saying on my reaction channel, where I was playing a over-the-top character that would get very angry and very loud and would go on these crazy tirades about the video as if it had, insulted my mother almost. It was literally like almost like an angry video game nerd watching TV kind of thing. And it really is kind of what it was a lot. It was like some like that, because this is the real me right here, this laid back kind of very chill, very relaxed, very quiet, soft spoken, and I don't really, I'm not an extrovert at all in real life, and I just created that character because I figured if I did, myself, it would be boring and nobody would watch it. And then I made a channel all about being boring, so I could be myself finally, and it's been doing okay, and I'm helping my puppa, my little weenie dog, fall asleep fast in my lap here. Like I said, I usually don't have her in here because she'll knock the controller or the keyboard out of my hand. You know, she won't let me work, but because we're watching something post-commentary, she's just laying there being a good baby on my left leg, just, you know, trying to go to sleep while the people are here working on the house. Because I have people working on, you know, my house, like cleaning up the whole thing and, you know, restoring it and all that. There's a lot of work that needs to be done here. We've done a ton of work already, and it's cost me a good amount of money. But, you know, at this point, I have a clean house. I have a new lawn planted. I have all the junk out of the house and inside the house, all gone. Everything's organized. Everything's clean, you know, top to bottom. It's just, the house is so much nicer now. It's like a real home finally, instead of just a storage shed, you know, or a storage locker that doubles as a home. And I'm a lot happier with this. So, and I put in a lot of money into this project, and I don't care. I'm not, it's made my life so much better, like with the environment. It's so much nicer, it's so much cleaner, and so much less cluttered, and it's so much just better in every way that it's just like, it doesn't matter what it costs. I'm happy. I'm happy now. This is my house. This is finally my home at this point, because it's finally been cleared out and the majority of the stuff that was here before is gone. So it was a long process, but it's been rewarding. So now we're going through the water level, with the river level really. I'm trying to think what the character right after this is. Was it Medusa? Not sure. But I am a huge fan of the Castlevania series. I plan on doing 1, 3, Symphony of the Night myself, playing through them, you know, and then fall asleep while I watch Castlevania 2, because I'm just never going to be able to figure that one out. And then maybe play the GBA games. I'm trying to kind of go series by series, where I've already done Mario, Kirby, Donkey Kong, and then I have to fall asleep while I watch Zelda and Metroid, and then I want to also do Mega Man. I want to do Mega Man 1 through 6 on my own, actually play them. I want to do Castlevania, all the mainline ones that I can, you know, get a hold of. Is that video frozen, or what's going on there? I don't know what that was. The footage was acting up for a second. I'm sorry. I'm watching it on my DaVinci Resolve Studio preview window as it goes along, and I'm commentating with OBS because that's my main thing, because OBS lets me have the plugins, like, you know, my EQ and my noise gate and all that stuff to make the audio clean as possible for you. And then it's all put together like a sandwich in DaVinci Resolve, you know, which I've used for, I don't know when I started using Resolve. I used Cyberlink Power Director for years, for the majority of my YouTube journey. And then DaVinci was, I think I just got sick of Power Director and I got DaVinci free, the free version. And then I used that for a while. And then eventually I was like, well, I want to, you know, get rid of these swear words. And it turned out DaVinci could do that, but you had to pay for it. You had to pay the $300 for the lifetime subscription to it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want, you know, at this point I've used Resolve enough where I know how to do almost everything that I'd ever want to do with it. You know, I don't know everything about Resolve, but I know enough where it's almost second nature. And if I don't know how to do something, I can literally go to YouTube, type in how to do this in DaVinci, and there's this dude that is awesome, and like his intro is always DaVinci Resolve for noobs. And like he like does like these YouTube shorts where he tells exactly how to do it in like 30 seconds. And I'm like, thank you. You know, it just makes it so much easier. Like even less than 30 seconds sometimes. He just like immediately, yeah, this is how you do it. Okay, thank you. You know, that's a good thing about that. Instead of using something obscure like Power Director or frickin' Corel Video Studio and Sony Vegas, which I've used a few times. I've used a lot of stuff. I've used Corel, I've used Cyberlink, I've used Sony Vegas once or twice, Windows Movie Maker, but DaVinci is just, that's the one, bro. It's just, I used to think DaVinci was too complicated, which it can be. The workflow on DaVinci can be a little bit, you know, of a goofball, you know, just the weird sort of things you have to do things in it, like the inspector, instead of just grabbing the clip. But I think you can grab the clip, it's just I don't know how. But I'm always learning how to optimize my workflow on DaVinci and make the videos better. It's like, it's a learning experience, and it's rewarding because it makes better videos, and better videos make people happy, you know? We're on the level where we're about to get to the, I believe it's called a Scylla, or it's a dragon head kind of thing. It's like a Hydra at the top of this mountain thing we're climbing. This is relaxing. This is very relaxing. Yeah, so we've been doing a ton of house projects, and they just got finished with yet another one. I'm gonna get it all back because of some legalities, so it's gonna be a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of work, but you know, it'll all come out in the wash, as they say. Ah, there I go, I died again. Right. Up, there we go, right in the hole again. Up, almost there. Like Castlevania drop damage is just, you know, the hit damage where like you immediately get like, you know, knocked back as soon as you get hit. That's so silly. But you can actually use that to like skip parts of the game. Like if you jump, not very many, but there are spots where like you can literally like jump, get hit, and then get knocked back, and then you go up like on a higher platform sometimes. Like, it's possible. You know, it's a thing. But yeah, it's usually just more annoying. But yeah, the dragon boss is coming up. Dragon thing that looks like that, but it's like two real dragons. You know, like living dragons, not like bone dragons or whatever they call it in this game. Yeah, me and Papa, we're just gonna hang out here today and watch this video and hopefully get it out to you soon and hopefully help you fall asleep fast, you know? I announced that I was going to focus on this channel. I don't know how well that's going to age, but I was going to focus on this channel instead of the reaction channel because I don't enjoy doing the reactions much. It's like, even though this is way harder than doing the reaction content because I have to play a game and actually finish these, you know, games that are really hard in some cases and actually complete them from, you know, level 1 to level whatever. You know, because I complete every game that I play on these videos. Like, I don't just play like a few levels. I complete the entire thing, you know, from front to back. And, yeah, it's a lot of work, but at the same time, it's work that's going towards building a library that will last forever versus topical stuff, which will, you know, not even topical, but I just feel like the reaction stuff is just kind of risky anyway. You know, it's like, it's no one's gonna ever strike this channel for harassment, bullying, or anything like that. Like, you know, when I would make fun of stupid stuff I would watch on TLC, like, no one's ever gonna strike this channel for that because I don't do anything remotely TOS violation here. But at the same time, it makes the channel a slow burn where it takes forever to grow this, but you know, it's going to be worth it long term when people are able to, you know, come back here and appreciate this work forever. And then, you know, even 10 years from now, people will still need to fall asleep. So each video is like an investment that it's going to take forever to see a return, but it's still going to be a long return. And maybe the other channel will just wake up one day and it'll just be all right. I don't know. But at this point, it's just kind of in a place where I'm not happy doing that work anymore. And this is what I want to do and focus on. So I'm going to do that. And if it fails or the algorithm doesn't care and I just, never get anywhere, that's fine. It'll just stay as a library for the 10 people that use it to fall asleep. And I feel like that's a really good use of my time. All right, here's Scylla, I think it's called, or it's like a two-headed dragon thing that shoots fireballs at you. Boss fight. I don't know. For some reason I keep thinking it's called Scylla, but it might not be. It might just be like Hydra or something. I'm not sure. I know Scylla was a particular thing in Greek mythology, which there is, some Greek stuff in these Castlevania games. There's a mixture of all sorts of stuff in the Castlevania games. Greek, Christian, Viking, all of it. So, as you can see, like the background alone is like Roman, the Roman pillar kind of thing. So, that's just how Castlevania is. Here we are on block 4-1 of Castlevania 4, on our way to see Dracula, as always. I think this is Simon Belmont again. Wasn't he the one from the first game? So is this technically a remake of the first game, or not a remake, but like a side version, whatchamacallit, like spin-off of the first game, really? I'm almost positive 1 and 2 are both Simon, I think, and then 3 is Trevor and his, people like Sypha and Grant and all them, I think, Alucard, all those people. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is back to Simon. It's like, how many times did Simon Belmont kill Dracula? I mean, really? I never really sat down and figured out the Castlevania mythos of like who was first, Trevor, or I think Trevor was actually first timeline wise. Then it was I think. I could be wrong. I need to watch the anime like bad. I've watched the first season and then I just never watched the second season, even though it's amazing. I don't know why. I don't know, man. Well, first I don't have Netflix, and second it's more like, it's kind of like apathy, it just kind of bleeds into stuff. Like I've been also focusing a lot on The Blacklist, which is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. It is so good. It is just, it's crazy how good The Blacklist really is. With I think his name was James Spader, the dude that plays like, Reddington. Raymond Reddington. I was thinking, what is his name again? Yeah, that show is, oh my God. I was seeing YouTube shorts of it and I liked it. I'm like, I want to watch that. Fine, I'll watch it. Like the first episode, I was kind of like, eh. And then after that, oh my God, I've gotten addicted to it. Like I can just crash through that. See, I'm almost done with season 1, I think. And it's just, yeah. All right, so this is the skull boss. The screaming skull, or whatever you want to call him. He just sticks the tongue out and drops rocks on you, and yeah, I'm gonna die here probably, I think, but no, okay, we got through it. We got through the screaming skull or whatever his name is. Oh boy, here's that spike room that y'all all remember. That lovely old spike room where like the room starts turning and you have to hold on to the thing. We're just watching this video alone makes me sleepy. Papa's like, hey, let's take a nap. Why don't we take a nap? You're making me fall asleep fast. Sweet baby. He's next to me asleep. Yeah, the people that worked on the house just left, and I don't know what's going on with her today, but she's just been super lonely lately, wanting to sit in my lap a lot more than normal, which is fine. I mean, she's my dog and I love her, but just, I don't know. She just seems like really lonely lately and gets upset when she's not in here lately. And it's like, I gotta work and she won't let me work usually. Unless I'm doing like reaction content where I'm not playing a game or getting loud and, you know, rambunctious, because she don't like that. But, yeah, this part's kinda eh. It's, you just kind of just wait. It's a lot of waiting. I mean, it's cool looking, but it's just a lot of waiting. And you can also screw up on this jump right here, which I might. We'll see. Nope, didn't. Yeah, you can like hit the edge and then fall right back on the spikes. Oh, this is really cool though. This is that rotating circular room that they used the Mode 7 graphics on. And I'm dead? No? Okay. Not quite yet. I'm down to 1 bar of health. We keep cutting it close though. The one thing I will say about Castlevania 4 is there's basically no health power-ups. They're so rare. I don't know if there were, well, there's one right there. I don't know if they were common back in the earlier ones or not. I can't remember, but Castlevania 4 is pretty stingy, I think. But then again, health is pretty generous on this game, and really all the Castlevanias. I think you're a lot more likely to fall in a pit and die than you would be dying from, you know, running out of hit points. Because the pits are just, you know, they're brutal, you know. Here's a little room. It's a little tricky. It's also a little nerve-wracking. So, yeah, it's the whole, you know, big stone thing where it's like the, you know, the stones are going up and trying to crush you kind of thing. What's controlling those stones? Magic? Like, what makes stones like that just float straight up forever? Like, where are they going, man? Jesus. I swear I'm not high on anything. I just kind of had like a stoner moment, like, where do those stone things go, man? It's a good question. Where are they going? I like this part where you kind of just walk along and just, you know, just outrun it barely with the spikes or whatever. That's cool. There's nothing in that wall. Yeah, I just keep looking at this footage. It's making me sleepy. Oh my God. I hope it works for you. I don't know what it is about this particular game, but it's just got me tired. I was trying to watch it earlier and, you know, stuff was going on and banging and hooping and hollering and all that foolishness. But not foolishness, just people having fun. And, all right, which boss is this? It is Medusa, I think. Is it? No? Okay, no, it's the stone dude. Did we already do Medusa? Probably. No, this is the stone guy, whatever his name is. This stone guy's just trolling me, man. Tearing me up. I'm sure there's some faster, easier way to kill him. There always is with these Castlevania bosses where it's like, I don't know exactly what it is that you do that makes it kill him faster, but it does. Might watch a speed run of this later off air, but yeah, if you enjoy this sort of videos, like and subscribe and let me know what you think, and put in a request for whatever the next game you want to talk about is. You want me to see? I'm tired, man. God, this thing got me all screwed up. I'm sorry. I'm like dozing off, like just watching my own video, man. This is crazy. I don't ever feel this when I'm actually playing through the game and doing the soft commentary, but this particular one just has me just like, yeah. That's probably a good sign, though. It's probably a good sign that's making me sleepy just watching it, you know, with literally no sound on, and I don't even have the rain sounds going right now. It's just me and Papa sitting in a quiet room with the fan blowing and this footage on the screen, and I'm trying to stay awake and do commentary. I mean, it's not even late in the day. It's like 1:49 p.m. and I'm just sleepy. Why are we sleepy, Papa? Are you singing? Are you trying to get Dee to go sleep? You want Dee to take a nap? Is that what you want? Want Dee to pause the video and me and you take a nap? I think she wants a nap. I think that baby wants a nap. What do you think? What do you think, girl? You want a nap? Oh, she wants to look out the window. That baby wants to look out the window. She busy. She got weenie duck stuff to do. She got her own little agenda. Get your agenda. You got agenda. You can go get me some food later. I know this kind of let's fall asleep. You should be boring. It shouldn't be intricate. But yeah, I'm getting tired myself. Might take a nap after I get a little farther in this. I'm cutting it up into pieces because this is a 2-hour video, and sitting here trying to make decent commentary for 2 hours is just a lot. But yeah, that's kind of cool how like the dude kind of, you know, gets bigger and bigger, then sort of zooms off and rip, you know, whatever he was called. Bean, give me a cup of coffee. What do you think, Papa? You like coffee? You want a cup of coffee? You're a weenie. Weenie dogs don't want coffee. You don't drink coffee, you get hyper and then you act crazy. This is, I mean, like I said with the Johnny Fox thing, that was a character. 100%. This is me. This is me in real life. I'm boring. I am tired. I am, you know, being Johnny Fox takes a lot of energy out of me to try to be like that upbeat, you know, loud mouth redneck with no filter, and oh yeah, he says all that stupid stuff about hoes and all that. It's just like, that's not me. And like, I can't imagine no one thinking that that's me. I'm just like, dude, no one acts like that. Like no one. And some people just bought into it so much that it just drove them crazy. Because they got obsessed with the character, and it's like, I was always open about Johnny Fox being not real. Like, I was never trying to screw with people trying to act like he was real, like Francis or something. No, I was straight up, this is not a real. I mean, I even put it in the description a lot of times saying it's a fictional character, just like the AVGN. Like, you know, the James Rolfe isn't in his house, you know, yelling about retro games with his wife 24/7. You know, it's a character, it's a bit. It's based on multiple comedians and wrestling, you know, era stuff, you know, and like, you know, it's not real at all. I don't live that character, and you know, this is me. But the problem was, nobody wanted boring Jack. You know, they wanted, you know, basically my equivalent of the Mask from the movie. You know, like, remember Stanley Ipkiss from the Mask? Like, he was all kind of timid and boring and liked his cartoons and liked being alone with his dog. That's literally me, man. When I became Johnny, it was like putting the mask on. I don't remember half the stuff I said or did. And then later people would just be like, oh, you said this, you said that. I'm like, no, the character said it. Like, it's not, don't think I said anything racist or anything awful, like about, like, you know, any particular group of people that's like offensive or racist or anything. None of that happened. It's just more like, I was a lot harsher and a lot more over the top and extreme with my personality, the way I talk to people, and the way I acted on the show. You know, it's a character though. It's obvious. No one talks like that. No one acts like that. And if they do, everybody would hate them. But it was trying to be like an internet villain, kinda. I hate that, having to hit dogs in any game. I really do. There was one scene in Oblivion that just tore my nerves up after I did it. I swear to God, it legitimately made me, like, it ruined my day for like the rest of the day when I saw it. So I don't know if I should even tell you this or not, but if you don't want to hear something really super sad and, like, you know, something that might make you cry legit, skip ahead like a minute, you know, and I'll stop. But basically, there's this quest at the end of the Dark Brotherhood, and it's there's two quests in the Dark Brotherhood on Oblivion that are just awful. There's awful. One of them is the Purification. That's when you have to literally go kill all your friends in the Dark Brotherhood to seek out a mole, and none of them were the mole. at the end of the day. Spoiler, none of them were the mole. You just killed a bunch of innocent, well, not innocent, you killed a bunch of murderers, but you killed a bunch, all your friends and the people who backed you up and were good to you and like helped you with training. You have to kill all of them to purge whoever the traitor was who wasn't even there. And you kill all these quote unquote innocent people, and that was awful. And then there's another one where you have to kill all these, you have to basically kill an entire family by seeking out like all the sons and daughters, and you find them by killing their mother. And it's just, and the mother has this dog, and it's like, this is the saddest part of the whole quest, and it ruined my day that day with this part. So I went inside, you know, I didn't want to be out in the open when I killed her or whatever for the game. This is a game, YouTube, this is about a game, this is not real life. But I had to go in there and kill her. It was at that Apple Haven, Apple something, you know, house or whatever. And you kill her, and she has her dog inside with her. And I know I didn't hallucinate this, but it just, once again, skip ahead like 30 seconds if you really don't want to get upset, if you love dogs. So I think it was Apple Watch, which is a house out in the woods that is used for, like, you know, one of the last quests in the Dark Brotherhood. Like, so you have to do it because then the house gets cleared out completely and changed out for like the one massive cutscene that's really screwed up. But probably deserved, honestly, to who it happened to be real. And what happens is the woman's in there, and she's like this innocent, really sweet old lady. And, you know, I forgot what was Dragon, their names are like Dragon Reach or something, right? And then you have to kill the mother after she gives you directions to give gifts to all of her children. You have to kill her after you get the directions in cold blood. And that's bad enough because she did nothing wrong like the other ones did, seemingly. I don't know if she did or didn't. But the part that depressed me and just ruined my day was after you kill her, if you do it inside, her dog just doesn't even attack you. It just walks up to her, sniffs her, and then looks up at the ceiling and howls. Like the dog's heart is broken because you just killed her master or his master. You killed the dog's parent basically for no reason. And it made me hate that quest line because everything after, like, legit and playthroughs after that, I pretty much, like, there's nothing you really get that's actually worth anything from the Dark Brotherhood ending. You don't. There's nothing there. You get some crappy little dagger from the Night Mother you'll never use, and I think, and like, that's it. And then you can just like get the little radiant thing of, oh, well, you know, we'll give you money every week or something. It's like some pittance. It's not worth anything. And maybe that's what they wanted to do, was that ending of, you know, you killed all these people, whether they were innocent or not, and then basically your reward is garbage. And like, you just, a bunch of innocent people died because of this stupid death cult. And that's a great ending, you know, and a great stab in the chest for, you know, doing that quest line. As fun as it is up until the purification quest, but that dog, just seeing that dog heartbroken, even though he was just a little pixelated thing. Oh my God. I turned the video off. I turned the game off, turned the video off. I couldn't do it. It just tore my nerves up. Tearing my nerves up now thinking about it. It just made me think about my dog. What if it happened to me? I know that I said, fall asleep while I play Castlevania. I didn't mean to make you upset or cry at that idea, but that's just a miserable quest, man. That whole entire quest line is miserable. It is as good as it is the first time you play it. You should play through it. If you kill her outside. Don't do it in there when the dog is inside, because it's one of the worst scenes in video game history. And it's something that nobody talks about, which is crazy. And like the reason I even stayed in there was I was trying to see if I could get the dog to follow me, or if I could talk to it, or maybe command it or something and get it to go outside or come, or I would take the dog with me or something. And that's when I saw that. I'm like, dude, I feel like the biggest, worst person on earth. All right, so we're in this bike room, and oop, that screwed that up. My bad. Hopefully this commentary is on track. There are little pauses between the whatchamacallits, takes, basically, because this is done in multiple segments. But we are fighting a coffin that's going to eat us, apparently. Sure. I mean, it's Castlevania. Might as well have a coffin that tries to eat me. Let's see. It's been a long day, man. Not a bad day, just long. And yeah, we got a lot of work done. So it's good. It's good. Now we can drift off and relax again. Relax and sleep. I think that I'm going to probably play the Castlevania 1 next, especially if this gets any views. And that'll be fun. This one I really did enjoy quite a bit. And the only real part that I got upset playing this originally was the Dracula fight. And I got really mad. Where like I literally yelled into my microphone, and I realized I was like, okay, you know, if I'm going to be yelling like that, clipping the mic, you know, Dracula making me upset, we got to redo all the commentary, keep the footage, redo the commentary, and do it as a Peaceful Pixels. It's just, no, we can't reuse that commentary. There's too much anger there, and there's probably a ton of anger in other spots. It's just like, no. But that's why, you know, it's me, because I don't, you know, long plays generally have like perfect gameplay, or they don't really screw up that much. With me, it's like I keep in all the screw ups, man. I'm like, I'm not good at these games, because I literally am beating one game per video, and that makes it where I basically can't really practice, because there is, you know, one game per video. I can't sit here and just play every game 10 times and then record the video, you know? It would, like, no videos would come out. We have to, you know, power through the game, and really the vibe and the commentary is what sells it. But the game is like footage, really. And, you know, it's definitely a format. And I know that there's other fall asleep channels, but they generally kind of stick to Minecraft and Stardew, and I just can't get any views with either of them because of the other channels being so much bigger or more already established in this. And I kind of didn't want to go that way anyway, because, okay, really, a table? A table's going to attack me? What is this, a Stephen King novel? Just think about this imagery. A guy is swinging a chain mace or a chain whip at a table because it wants to eat him, and you can't jump on the table either. Okay. You know, it sounds like something Stephen King would do, like the, you know, the man-eating table. But I think that's kind of cool. Like the ballroom dancers that are like ghosts. I like that. That's really creepy. The ghost of the ballroom dancers that like burned alive in the, you know, tragic fire in the 1700s or something. You know, it was a ball for Princess Adeline or whatever. I don't know. All right, so we move on to the next boss fight, which is The dancers, the slow dancers, or whatever you want to call them, the ghosts, ballroom ghost, whatever you call them, the two that are like slow dancing and spinning around. There, and they're gone, and I was down to 1 health. So that's kind of wild. Kind of crazy that this game took me almost 2 hours to complete. I mean, it's not that long of a game. I must have really had a problem in the later stages. Take out this knight, and so this must be the library stage. And we'll get through this, don't worry. It's alright. We will get through the library and the ghost books. The ghost books. Yeah, Stephen King reference again. It's like a book that eats people now. You ever think Stephen King, like, you know, when he was doing all those drugs, he started thinking his books were talking to him? Or he started thinking, well, he did write The Dark Half about, like, you know, his inner self coming to life from a book and then killing people or something. I can't remember. It was something like that. It was like his dark, evil Stephen King side, like, comes out and hurts people. For some reason, I remember there was this commercial back in the day, and I don't know if it's even I know it's not possible, but maybe it was a scam product, or maybe I just misremember, but it was, maybe you can remember it. It was this lens thing, or like, it was some type of magnifying glass or a lens or something, and it's like you could look in a book, and it would like show you like an animation or something. Like it would like show you some type of weird cutscene kind of thing. I'm like, just what? That's weird. And I kept thinking I dreamed it, and I don't know if I did. I just asked Gemini, and it said, yeah, there was something similar to that. It wasn't exactly like a cutscene, but it was something similar. And I just remember seeing like these two guys just sitting on like a one of those infomercial shows, so like the Esteban guitars and stuff, you know. And it's like they were talking about, oh well, you can bring your books to life and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh, what? It's literally just paper. We can't even do that with AI right now. Not easily. I mean, you could get like different AI AI images in motion and stuff, and you could basically use that to edit a bunch of stuff, but it's not just a lens pointing at an actual physical book that makes stuff happen behind the lens. It's like, that's not a thing, and it's been bugging me there's a couple things that bugged me that was really trippy that I never figured out, and I probably will never figure them out. There was one that I did figure out that was really weird, but it still wasn't even all of it. Like, I have a lot of weird, trippy memories that I don't know if they really happen or not. Another was, well, this game isn't open at all. Look at that. It's like a painting that's talking or coughing. There was something about, like, there was a movie where it was like this guy, it was like an anti-drug movie, and I thought I saw it in college, and it was like a guy that went to a weird dark reality world. It was like a real guy, like actors, like one of the things, it was like these characters that were like dressed up as like different drugs. I swear I wasn't doing any hallucination stuff, but It's been bugging me forever, but it was like, and even AI didn't know what it was. And it was like, I just remember like this chick that was like painted green, and she had like all these like, even the carpet eats you in this, just like in the Ultimate Exodus. And the floor. Yeah, but it's like, it was like this green lady with like leaves and stuff, kind of looked like Poison Ivy from like Batman. And like, her name was like Mary Jane, and she was supposed to mean like, be like a stand-in for like pot. And I was just like, bro, this is something people probably see when they smoke it. Like if you get some good stuff, I ain't advocating the use of it, but if you get some good stuff, you start seeing it, you might start not seeing it physically, but like in your mind, like your mind wanders and you daydream about really weird stuff that's really vivid. But it's not like you physically think that you're talking to like a dead person, or, you know, you can actually feel them or think they're actually in the room. It's not that type of psychedelic. I don't even know if anything does that, but in your own head, you'll start thinking about really weird scenarios and stuff. And maybe that's, I wasn't smoking it back then, so I don't know where it came from, and I've been trying to find it. But the thing was, I did find one piece of lost media from my childhood that I didn't believe actually existed. That carpet, that's brutal, bro. The carpet just hops up and just knocks you into the spot. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. I got it. I caught it when I was playing this. You just crouch down and let it ride over you, kind of thing. Okay. All right. Little moonwalk. I checked for like some health, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was doing. What was I doing here? Probably looking for health because I had like half bar. Anyway, yeah, it was like I was a little kid, and I remember this trippy, weird thing, and it wasn't the exact same thing that I remembered as a kid. I still got to find the other parts of it, but it was like these kids were running around like a playground, and basically, I don't know why I kept screwing that up. It was stupid. I guess I was figuring I could outrun it. Kids are on a playground. They go up like this play set thing, and the sad thing is, just for a little context, when I was a kid, they had this play set that they had built out of like wood and all that, and had like the little why do I not know? Okay, keep going with the story. It doesn't matter that I died in the video. The kids would basically go down the slide, and like the slide was somehow taken to like this magical land that was like called like Topsy-Turvy World or something weird like that. And I just like always thought that I made it up, but apparently it's called like Rock Candy Sings or something. All right, I'm still here. Don't worry. I was getting a little zoned out by the footage, which is a good thing, isn't it? Usually is a good thing. Like I said, I'm not going to talk the whole time, but I'm gonna cut in here and there, but I'm not going to talk constantly. Is what I'm saying. We obviously have to have our little cut-ins, just so you know I'm still here for the comfort and the concept of Peaceful Pixels, but you know, we don't need to fill up every piece of the video with, commentary. Obviously, we need little spots of just letting the rain do its job. And yeah, that's what I intend on doing for a lot of this. Yeah. But I will cut in here and there just to show that I'm still here and you're not alone again. Don't worry, I'm not leaving. I never really leave the videos to run alone for super long. Did for a bit, but it just, the algorithm hated it. The algorithm hated the loop videos where I would basically talk for like 30 minutes to an hour and then let rain take over. Like, the algorithm absolutely just was disgusted by it and did not show it to anybody. And I don't know why it did, but it's sort of like with 4K. I know a lot of people like 4K, and you probably have a 4K TV. Everybody does. YouTube really still is not set up correctly for 4K. It's just not. It's not. It's just not good for 4K. It has too many problems in the background. Like, I was doing everything in 4K and I just kept having so many issues uploading. And it wasn't even like the size of the file, because my internet's super fast. It's when the YouTube had the file and they had to process it, it took forever. I have a Temple Run video right now that literally has been processing for almost a week. It can't be seen. It's just stuck in limbo forever until YouTube eventually processes it, I guess. And after that, seeing that, plus just other issues that I've had, I was like, you know what? No more. We're not doing this anymore. We're doing 1440 and that's it. I'm not going to 4K. Not until YouTube sorts their stuff out, because it's just 4K is just, it has too many problems. At least for long, super long videos. For shorter videos, it's fine, but I record stuff that's multiple hours. And the file sizes were massive. We're talking like 250 gigs for one video, which was fine for me because I record the video and then I delete the original after YouTube has it to save space. And then if I ever want to download it, I can just download it from YouTube directly, as a copy. There's apps to do that. The one I use is called Stature 7. It is a free app that you can get on PC, and it's basically a front end for a YouTube downloader called YouTube DL, YTDLP. Just like YouTube downloader, whatever the P means, program, I guess. Which is based, I believe, on FFmpeg, which everything is really. Which is kind of wild when you think about it. It's like, I remember someone asking on a Reddit thread, they're like, oh, well, what's the difference between Handbrake and something else? I forgot what the other one was. And they were like, FFmpeg is FFmpeg. And I was like, you know what? And I looked into it. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. That someone made like this one app called FFmpeg that was so useful and is free and open source that the entire internet uses it. Like, it is the thing. Like, there's almost nothing that doesn't use it. If it's anything like video related, especially, maybe even audio, it all uses FFmpeg, which is wild. Like, it's just, it's this, basically this tool that lets you convert your digital, your code that is your video file and makes it readable, basically. Makes it able to actually be seen. And like, YouTube runs it on their servers to encode all of our videos. So like, you put a video up and they got FFmpeg going like 100 billion miles an hour, like encoding it in these different sizes, to give the audience different resolutions to use, which is just nuts that someone made that for free and it became like the biggest thing ever that no one talks about. So it says right here, FFmpeg is like a universal translator for digital media that can instantly convert, resize, and edit almost any video or audio file. Since it's incredibly fast and powerful, it is the invisible engine behind the scenes of major apps like YouTube, Netflix, and Discord, and literally every streaming site ever uses it. So it's basically the engine behind everything video on the internet. It's all based on this one program that someone just made one day. Not one day, but some guy in the 90s created it, I'm guessing, and it just never stopped. It just became the engine. Now, just imagine how crazy that is. It's like, you gotta think, this is probably what they do with all the apps too. VLC, MPV, every media player probably is running it. It's kind of like a JavaScript, which was the huge thing that ran everything before and probably still does. Maybe it's HTML5 that runs everything now, I'm not sure. But it's just kind of wild. It also says right here, yes, exactly. If it involves digital video or audio on the internet, there's about a 90% chance FFmpeg is doing the heavy lifting under the hood. Think of it as a way the developers don't want to waste their time coding their own video compressors and video decoders from scratch. Instead, they just embed that to do the work. So here's the crazy thing. The guy that made FFmpeg never got paid for it. Literally. He made it, then he just released it for free and said, ta-da, and then it became the thing, and nobody paid him. That's kind of crazy. And he also made QEMU, which is one of the best emulators, not emulators, but well, it kind of is an emulator. Best virtual machine things to if you run a Windows computer and you want to run a separate Windows installation on your computer, for privacy, security, server, whatever, lots of different reasons you would run a virtual machine. It can be used for a ton of stuff. It basically installs a second computer inside your computer you have now. That's what a virtual machine is. So it's like you're running Windows. You can have a little window that runs Linux or Mac or whatever, any OS you can think of, Windows 95, 98. A lot of people use it for if you have a software that doesn't work for Windows 11, you can run a virtual machine and essentially run Windows 95 inside of your computer that's running Windows 11, and you can use the app or the program that doesn't work anymore. So a lot of people, that work on stuff with industrial machines will still use super old computers because that's what the machine that they put in 30 years ago was meant to run from. And some, companies don't want to go and pay for a vintage machine that might fall apart, so they could literally just run a virtual machine and probably somewhere or another patch it in where it would still work. And that might not be what they do, but that's an example of how you could use one, even if that's not how they use it in reality. But it will do the same thing. It's the same concept. It lets you run a completely separate operating system inside of your own in its own contained space. Like banks use them a lot. Because the thing about a virtual machine is it's usually more secure in some ways. It's like, it gives you like a sandbox. Like if you watched Kit Boga, good example. He's one of these guys that like calls scammers and gets them mad, and they think they're stealing from his computer, or they put a virus on his computer. What he's doing is he's getting them to connect to a virtual machine that's not, so he'll get a virus on the virtual machine, and then he can just reset it, and it doesn't hurt his main computer. He could just, mess with the scammer, and then when the video's done, he could just like hit the reset button, virus gone, problem gone, scammer's crap gone, and it doesn't hurt his main piece, his actual computer. So it gives him almost like a fake computer instead of his real one, is, the concept there. But I'm just trying to explain it as simple as possible in case anyone cares. Probably doesn't. But it is an interesting thing that you can basically run a completely separate computer inside the one you have now to do stuff like that. Like some people that are like really worried about viruses, or people that want to work, like people who work with the virus, they'll get a virtual machine like QEMU, and they will install a virus that's going around into the machine, and then use that to like research how to get rid of it, or like, what it does. Or like just play around with it and see if they can, outsmart a virus or whatever. Like to just play with it, but it makes it where it doesn't affect their actual, physical computer. Anyway, we're on 9-2 of Castlevania 4. We're getting closer to the end, not quite there yet. We got a little ways to go. We got another 40 minutes, roughly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the rain run just for a little while. And I'll cut back in a bit. I don't want to talk the entire video. But I'll be back in, I don't know, 20 minutes. How about that? Okay? See you in 20. All right, and I am back for the death fight. I hope that you enjoyed that little rain-only segment. And yeah, I am back for a little bit more relaxing commentary. We're almost near the end of the game now, but the death fight is coming up. I believe right here, maybe? Is it the death fight? Yeah, here it is. The Grim Reaper fight. Am I gonna die? Probably. He's usually the most difficult, one of the most difficult on top of Dracula. He loves to throw his scythe and sickle things at you. But I might just, wonder if I took a death on this right here. Just took a death and said screw it. Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, it looks like it. I just said I don't have enough health to actually take him out by myself, normally. Also, I can tell that I was using a different emulator because it wasn't RetroArch. Just looks like I was, what was I using? What was I using? At ZSNES maybe? No, maybe 9X. It wasn't RetroArch by the look of it. RetroArch doesn't do that. Maybe it was RetroArch. It was just an older version of it because that text saying Save Zero created, it doesn't look like RetroArch does now. I have no idea. Maybe someone in the comments can tell me what emulator I used back then. I have no idea. It looks like ZSNES though. But I don't know why I would have used that in 2022 instead of, well, 9X or anything else. BSNES maybe? I think I went through like a little phase where I didn't like RetroArch. And I love RetroArch, but there's only a few consoles that I prefer the original emulators on, which is PCSX2 for PlayStation 2 and DuckStation for PS1. Everything else runs through RetroArch now for my modern videos. For anything console related, it's all RetroArch now, except for PS1 and PS2, because their emulators are so good and so specialty that neither one are cores in RetroArch. There's like Swan Station, but it's not as good as DuckStation in my opinion, and I mean, it's still good. It's just not as good. It has little features missing for me. And at least I think it does. There's death. Death is done. And I guess we're going to be coming up on Dracula in a moment. But, I mean, because what could be more tough than, death? AKA Charles Bronson. Okay, here we are. The little candles are lighting up. And, yep, we're going to the Dracula fight now. Here we go. This is where I raged out because I died like 100 times. So we're going to, there's this little invisible spot here that's definitely not obscure and definitely not I think everybody knows about it, but it's kind of easy to die right there because you have to jump back up on the platform, but there's no platform there. You just got to kind of know where to jump. As you can see, I'm sure other people are like, dude, you're so stupid. How do you not know it? I'm like, because I don't play these games beforehand. Like every game I play, except for the Mario stuff, is a blind run. And I don't know anything about the game because I want it to be, well, I just can't replay every game, 20 times before I record a video. We would never get any videos done. It would take too long. Usually I play through the game once and, once I beat it, that's it. And then I just usually never play it again. A lot of them I don't. I just don't see a point revisiting a lot of the games. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of deaths on this Dracula fight. So strap in for that. He just trolled me beyond belief in this one. Like, it's almost comical how bad he ruined me in this. I just remember yelling, some obscenity that I won't react to. Like genuinely one of the only times I ever got mad at the internet or mad at during a video where it was legitimate anger was this fight. Like, seriously, like out of my 12 years of doing all these different contents, whether it was Johnny Fox or Peaceful Pixels or Falco Punch or Fox Die and all this stuff. Like the only time I really got mad was this fight, and everything else was rather, pretty much acting. It was sort of like people really got invested in the Johnny Fox character, and the thing was they didn't get the memo that I literally was doing kind of what the angry video game nerd did, but for like whatever topic I was doing back then. It was like a mixture of AVGN with like some stand-up comedians and my other influences. It was not a real person. And people get so upset. They're like, no, it really is you. No, it really is you. I'm like, no. I'm just like, I'm happy that you believe the thing because it means I'm a good actor. It means that like I'm really good at acting and I'm a method actor that can basically become the character. And essentially it really was kind of a kayfabe thing for like 12 years where people really believed that this was me. But reality is no one, I've been talking to a lot of people IRL lately. I'm touching grass, as they say. And it's kind of crazy how little the people online that claim to know me, stalk me, research me and like, obsess over me, don't know me at all. Like they don't know my legal name. They don't know where I live. They don't know my, anything about my family, my friends, my past, my, education, my jobs, nothing. They literally know nothing about the person behind Johnny Fox. They just know Johnny Fox and they hate him. And I'm just like, it's like hating a villain from a TV show. You're hating the actor because he was playing a villain, Like you really believe that the actor was, like you really believe that like Brad Dourif is really Chucky, Or that Robert Englund really is Freddy Krueger. Doug Bradley is really Pinhead. You know what I mean? Kane Hodder is really Jason. Billy Loomis Skeet Ulrich really is Billy Loomis and he really killed people. It's like people get so obsessed with, and really, it's a mix of parasocial and just delusion when you're a good enough actor that people just get so invested in this idea that that's the real him when you're a good enough actor that they just can't believe that they were duped, and they will literally go to the ends of the earth screaming, even sometimes crying, even like, oh my God, that's just him. He really is like, he really does hate, women, or he really does do this, that, or the other. I'm like, it's just not reality. That's not who I am. It never was. And people that know me, like off screen, that talk to me in real life, no, I'm nothing like the characters I play online. Like Peaceful Pixels is me, but they just don't want to believe it. And it's flattering and it's also disturbing at the same time that people have latched on to this idea that there really is a person that does the, like, if you listen to my, and it's not everybody, it's just a lot of mentally ill people mainly that do it, unfortunately, untreated ones that will buy into this character, almost like wrestling, and it's like they invest so much of their life into hating who they think I am without ever knowing the real life person behind the character. It really is the equivalent of like sitting there screaming on a live stream that James Rolfe is the AVGN. It's like people just, I've heard so many crazy conspiracies about me, and I guess that means that I've done something right, because on the other channels that I've been more successful on, is the footer screwed up? Give it a second. Oh, there it goes. I must have paused or something because I was frustrated. Okay. But yeah, it's just weird, man. It's weird. People fall for it. Y'all, you need to understand. Live stream people that do live streams, for the most part, maybe not all, but I did anyway. We're actors. We create these personas because being the living breathing human being IRL is boring. We're almost everybody is incredibly boring in real life, so we create these characters that we play on YouTube to essentially to essentially, like, not even trick the audience but entertain you. Because if you really did, like, let's say you did like the Angry Video Game Nerd is actually James Rolfe, it would be boring because he's not like that. The whole character has his personality traits and his bits that he does in every video, screaming at the screen and throwing controllers and freaking out and all that stuff. And it's like, but if he doesn't do that in real life, because that's when you watch, like, the James and Mike Mondays or whatever, where they would just sit there and play a game together, you can see that he's not the nerd. But like, some people really get obsessed with certain characters, really, and it hurts so bad when they finally realize that this thing isn't real. And I never intended to do that with any of the stuff that I've done online, ever. I thought it was incredibly obvious to most people that it is not a real person. It's a mixture of different people I know in real life, people that I've watched on TV, and it's kind of like, maybe it's just a good thing. I don't know, man. It's weird. I feel bad for the people that really buy into it that hard. I really do. And, if people are invested enough in my product to hate me and, make these crazy accusations and really believe foolishness that they hear that's just outlandish craziness, it's like, okay, And if you think about it, it's like Alice Cooper, accidentally threw a chicken out into the audience once, and like the next day the tabloids were saying Alice Cooper, took a chicken and killed it and threw it out and, ripped its head off and ate it, while it was still alive and all this stuff, and that didn't happen. And Frank Zappa told him, he's like, Alice, did you kill a chicken? He says, no. He goes, good. Well, don't tell anybody. They love it. And that's what I did for 12 years, man. I basically just really did not let anyone know that the character was a character, because it would ruin the mystique. It would ruin the lore and it would ruin the thing, because, like, the haters keep you alive, really, because when YouTube hates you and the algorithm hates you, your haters are always going to be there to watch you because they can't stand you and they want to ruin you. But they hate you so much that they watch you and give you views and money because they hate you so much. They just, it's weird, And you see that a lot with, like, these different creators like Amber Lynn Reed and Foodie Beauty and all them. They hate these people and obsessively hate these characters, or even Nikocado Avocado probably. And they're so obsessed with this person being awful that they buy into the character to the point where they'll just watch everything they do, like A-logs, as people call them, where they just never stop watching this creator to see what they do next. But they don't realize that a lot of times what they do is exaggerated, fake, staged, or it's not reality. Because reality is boring, man. Reality's boring, and that's why when you're a live streamer, when you're a YouTube personality, when you're doing this for a job, you have to become someone you're not, because we're boring in real life. Everyone's boring in real life. And if they really are the way they are portrayed online, God help us with some of these people if these are not characters. But I literally started in the era where AVGN was still hot and when Spoonie was still hot, and all these, Nostalgia Critic and all that stuff was a big thing. And, it was really immersive, and people believe that these are real characters, real people, and some of them. and it tore their head, it screwed their head up when they realized, Santa ain't real. It is real. If you're a child, he's real. Once you become an adult, he stops being real because we don't have imaginations. We lose our imagination at some point. Anyway, Dracula's dead. But Santa is real as long as you're a child. And then if you're an adult, he still might be real. Just depends on if you believe or not. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.